Hello, welcome. Today's practice will be a hip opener practice. Not one of my favorites at all. So let's see where we end. So the hips is all around the hips. So the whole hip, the pelvis area we're going to do. Inside, outside, front, back, whatever we need. In the meantime, to keep it a little bit, we're going to have double chaturangas. So that means you go down and forward, and then you go up in cobra or upward facing dog. Then from there you move back to low chaturanga, and then inhale, push up to high plank, and then hike the big hips up and back to your downward facing dog. So, of course you can skip it if you think like, ooh, crazy girl. But if you feel like, oh, okay, yeah, nice, then do it. And if you skip it, then we always meet in downward facing dog, so you just arrive there a little sooner than if you do the double chaturanga. Okay, let's come in a seated pose. Tops of the feet down, heels not splaying out, but moving up towards the sky, and plant your buttocks on top of the heels. Right hand underneath the left one, thumbs are touching, and then just relax on your heels with the buttocks. Let your eyes rest on one point. And the flow of the breath be there, natural. Breathing in and out through the nose. Make it a 360 breather. So that means all the way from the bottom to the top, all the way from the right side to the left side of your ribcage, but also from the back of the heart towards the front of the heart, so you inflate everything. Maybe your breath is now a 5 count inhale, slight hold, and then a 5 count exhale. Maybe make it into a 4 count. So it's sustainable through class. With hip openers we will hold a little longer because it's the biggest joint of your body. And it will need time to open up. Also being said, if you have stiff hips like me, don't take it out of your knee. So no knee stretches, no pain, no sharpness in the knees. And also watch the ankle. The ankle they want to sickle in, and then you definitely take it out of your knee. So if this is my foot and that's my knee, then you take it out of your knee and you get some friction there, and it will cause you problems over time. So just feel, be really aware from what you're feeling, how you're moving, what your foot is doing. If the foot needs to be flexed, flex it really. And if the foot needs to be pointed, and really pointed, and press the top of the foot then down. While you're here, take a silence moment for yourself, let your intention arise from within. And then place the hands in front of your heart, bow the head towards the hands. If you have your intention, seal it in between the hands, feel it, even maybe live it, as if you already have it. On your next inhale, rise your arms, blink the eyes open. Exhale, open the arms nice and wide. Slowly circle the hand palms down, and then from here move the hands forward. I scoot a little bit more back onto my mat, so let's do that for you too. From here, all fours, press the hands into the floor, corkscrew the hands slightly out to the pinky side. Right leg is reaching back. Keep the length in the crown towards the tips of the toes. Exhale, round the spine, bring the chin in, or the nose in towards the knee. Now scoot the right foot over the left leg, and then open the left foot a little bit out to the long side of the mat. Now from here, walk your hands forward. Inhale here. And then exhale, press the hands down and keep the hips lifted. So now you feel already the outer edges of your hips, probably the left a little bit more than the right. Draw the belly in. Inhale, lengthen, coming back, walk your hands back. And then slowly sit your buttocks in between the heels if you can. Don't sit on your left heel. Come into the middle and see if your pelvis is straight forward. Many times you want to sit a little bit more to the left side, and then you don't feel anything in the hips. So, if the right knee comes up a lot, let it happen, and really press the tops of the feet down. Let's get myself back in the range that I can work with. Slowly inhale, arms rise up, lengthen. Exhale, hand palms facing towards me and elbows out, lifting the heart up towards the sky. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hands down, lifting the hips. Bringing your left leg back, lengthen. Exhale, round in, coil the belly in. Then bring the left foot over the right thigh, open the right foot to the outer and left edge. And then from there, walk your hands forward. You saw me going back. Walk the first forward. Lengthen the spine forward and then move the buttocks back in space. Now I feel both. Both of the hips. And really press those hands down and forward. Lengthen that spine, forehead towards the mat, but hips are hiked up. Inhale, lifting, walk your hands on the axle back and sit your buttocks in between the heels. Adjust yourself a little, press the tops of the feet down, don't feel anything painful in your knee. Lengthen the spine. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, cactus the arms, peel the chest upwards. A little bit of strength in the back of that. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, bring the hands forward. Inhale, reaching the right leg back. Exhale, knee to nose, round the spine, touch your knee. Scoot your right leg over the left one, open both feet. Arms go forward, inhaling. And then exhale, moving the buttocks back. So feel the stretch in the long sides of the waist, armpits. Maybe the left outer hip again. Maybe both hips. Just depends on where you sit. Inhale, lifting. Walk your hands back on the exhale and sit the buttocks down. Squaring the hips to the front of the mat. Lengthen. Next inhale, we'll bring the arms up. Exhale, hand palms facing towards me. Peel the chest open. Inhale, reaching those arms. Exhale, hands forward. Extend your left leg back, reaching the crown forward. Exhale, knee to nose, round the spine, last one. Scoot it over to the right leg. Open the feet to each long side of the mat. Hands go forward. Long spine. Belly draws in. And then dive down with the forehead towards the floor. Turn the triceps towards the mat. Reaching your tailbone up towards the sky, drawing belly in. Inhale, lifting the chest away from the floor. Hands come down. Exhale, sit down. Squaring the hips towards the front of the mat. See if your left knee can be touching the right. If it's high, don't change it. Inhale brings the arms up, lengthen sideways, arms, tall spine. Exhale, hands forward and peeling. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, coming forward. And then right leg moves back. And then come back to tabletop. Readjust yourself on your mat. Plant the hand palms nicely down. Press the hands into the floor. Corkscrew the hands slightly outward to the pinky side edges. And then from here, shoulders into the socket. Now round the spine a little bit. So it's a protraction of the shoulder blades. Moving the shoulder blades away from each other. Chin looking down. And then from here, Bring your right leg back. Crown is forward. And then from there, flexing your right foot. And then look to the right. Turning the right toes out to the side, opening the hips slightly. Moving the leg out. Keep the shoulders as square as is possible for you. And then from here, bending the knee. And then extending the leg out to the sides. Bending the right knee again. Keep the knee lifted. Keep the ankle in line with the knee. And extend. Now from here, bring the right leg a little bit more forward. Keep it hovering. And then sweep it all the way back. Natural curve. Tops of the feet down. Right knee comes down. Rounding the spine a little bit like a half cat-cow. Protracting. Then from here, lengthen the left leg back. And a neutral spine. Flexing the foot. Now look to the left side. Turn your left foot open to the left side. And then bring the left leg out to the side. Squaring the hips as much as possible, so don't start leaning only on the right hand and lifting the left heel of the hand up. That's too easy. Press into the left hand. Now bend your left knee. Keep the heel and your knee in the same line. Extend it again. Keep the breath. Bend it. One more time. Extend it. Breathing. And now bring the left leg as far forward as you can, hovering off the floor. Maybe your knee can touch your elbow. Touch. And move it all the way back. That was heavy. And then point the foot and knee down. So curl the toes. And lifting yourself up in your downward facing dog. This one is very welcome already for me. So to meet the body, we met the hips already. Start bending one knee. Take a full inhale, a full cycle. Inhale and exhale. Release the neck. Press the hands down and forward and hug the forearms in. Now change. So the opposite sources. Bring your chest towards your left thigh as best as you can. Releasing the neck, no tension in the face. And again, right leg. Inhale and exhale. Hike the hips up. And change. Inhale and exhale. Lifting both heels on your inhale. Hips nice and high, sit bones high. Exhale, draw the heels towards the floor and away from your hands. Release the neck. On your next inhale, gaze comes forward. Exhaling, tippy toe on your mat, to the front of the mat. Grip, and then plant your feet. Inhale, halfway lift, hands on shin bones or floor, straight spine. Exhale, forward fold, release down. Root to rise, arms sideways, swan dive, back up. And exhale, hands in front of your heart. So ball of the foot is touching, maybe the big toes as well. Have an easy space in between the heels by pressing the heels slightly out. And then you feel the activation in your quads. And then lengthen tailbone down. Bandhas, Mula Bandha active, pelvic floor. Use the belly bandha, so your Uddiyana bandha lifted in. Then from there, move your hands down. Inhale, lengthen, arms up, gaze up. Exhale, swan dive back down. A couple of Surya Namaskara 8. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, bend your knees, hands flat on the floor, stepping back. High to low plank. Inhale, Yogi's Choice, Cobra upward facing dog, and there he comes. Exhale, move back to low chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing, high plank. Exhale, move back to Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. So you decide what you want to do. You want to do it all the time? Double chaturanga? Go ahead. Breathing here. Making sure that the triceps move back towards your thighs. Leaning into the fingertips, gripping. First knuckle of the hand, really pressing. Fingers are spread but not too wide, that it gives tension in your hands. And on your next exhale, bring the gaze forward. Start the inhale. Step or hop forward, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold, forehead towards shins. Inhale, root to rise, arms sideways, lengthen all the way up. Exhale, hand through heart center in Samasthiti. Ekam inhale. Twee exhale. Trini inhale, lengthen, look forward. Chatwari exhale, high to low plank. Pancha inhale, upward facing. Sat, a low plank. Sapta, high plank. Aushto, downward facing dog. Breathing here. Releasing the neck. When your next exhale is there, gaze forward. Nava prepare. Step or hop forward. Halfway lift. Dasha. Going down. Ekadasha. Lifting all the way up. Lengthen. Exhale. Samasthiti. Again, one more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen forward, look forward. Exhale, step back, high to low plank. Lean forward and then down. Inhale, roll over toes. Charge the legs. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Stepping your feet in the right distance. Releasing the neck and breathing. Your next exhale will bring the gaze forward, prepare. Bend knee, step, hop or float on the inhale. Halfway lift to the end of the inhale. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, silent. And exhale, hands through heart center. Stand. Samasthiti means 0. Lengthen. Left foot is going to be rooting down. Right knee is coming up. Make the external rotation from the hip joint, move it out. Wherever you want to plant the right foot into your left thigh is good. Maybe only with the tippy toe down, but externally rotate without turning the hips to the right side. So hips maintain forward. So externally rotate and then press the sole of the foot into the inner thigh and the inner thigh into the sole of the foot. Now level your hips so they're in one same plane. Then lengthen, lift the rib cage away from your pubis. And then you can bring the hands in front of your heart. Lengthening the crown upwards. And there you are in tree. Breathing. If you press the sole of the foot firmly in, you feel activation in the outer right hip. Turn the knee out and back towards the back side of the mat. Keep the hips leveled. Feel if there's a change happening when you do so. And then from here, slowly but surely, move the right knee forward. And then bring the right foot in front of you. Press into the prayer hands, point the foot. Slowly release, bring it down. Inhale, sweep your arms, lengthen. Exhale, forwards fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, look forward, shoulders away from ears. Exhale, step, hopper, float. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, move back to low chaturanga. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 cycles of breath. Release the neck, release the face. Long waistline. Drawn in belly. Feel home in your downward facing dog. Your exhale brings the gaze forward, prepare. Inhale, hop forward, step forward, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, release. Inhale, root to rise, arms up. Exhale, hands through heart center into Samasthiti. Right leg is faced onto the floor, grounded. Now left knee comes in without help of the hands. Now externally rotate the left knee out. Feel what you feel. And then wherever you want to plant the foot, into your right thigh or calf muscle is good. Level the hips, so feel if your hips are leveled and not one up and one down. So really press into your right foot to lift the left hip a little bit higher. Not higher in line with the other one, but it wants to sink. Hands in front of your heart, and then press the sole of the foot into the inner thigh or the calf muscle, and press the calf muscle or inner thigh back into the sole of the foot, lengthen the spine. Trust your feet, feel the wiggles, lengthen tailbone down, draw the belly in, lift the chest, breathing. Slowly from here, moving the foot out of your thigh, moving it forward. Lengthen the crown of the head upward and then flexing your left foot. If you have to bend your right knee, that's okay. And then point your left foot. Keep it high, keep it lifted. Plug the femur bone into your hip socket. Lift, 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 let it shake. And slowly release it down. Hands down, circle arms up, inhale. Exhale, forward fold, release. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, step, hop or float. If you float, land in low chaturanga. Inhale, full lungs of air, opening the heart. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Stepping your feet together. It's easier for the balance. Right leg is moving back and up. Straight leg if you have them already. And then point the foot, opening the right hip on top of the left. Keep the right shoulder down, so don't open the right shoulder as well. Keep the right shoulder down and bend your right knee. Now from here, draw circles. We go both directions, so it doesn't matter, but keep the breath flowing. 2. Bring it high up towards the sky. And when you're up with the knee towards the sky, let's reverse the circle. So go down first if you went, and then up. Feel the outer hip from both hips. A little bit of the inside. Really pressing, hands down. Try to keep the shoulders square. Hips can be open. And extend the right leg. And step your right foot in the inside of your right thumb. Left knee can go down. Fingertips onto the floor. Tuck your back toes very firmly and really feel the stamping down of your right foot. From here, lengthen the spine, arms reach up. Bring the arms in line with your ears, so straight up. So don't flare the ribs out, it's another hollow spine. Now tucking tailbone slightly under, pressing with your right heel into the floor and moving it towards the left one. Now, instead of that, you want to open the front of the body and go into a back bend. I want you to put the back side of your back towards the wall. So basically, you want to knit the ribs in, and then you feel something happening in the left hip flexor. So really firming. You feel also the hamstring activating. So this is lengthening the front of the hips. Really lengthen, lengthen. Don't flare out. Really, it's up, 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 up. So everything is in the hips. Now the hands go down on the exhale. Shifting, inhaling your hips back. Squaring the hips. Inhale again, lengthen. Exhale, now go to your deepest point. Right hip wants to hike forward. Move the right hip back. So the hips are square to the front of the mat. Draw the belly deeply in. Inhale, lengthen again. Move the hands on the inside of the foot and move forward. So once you're here, turn the right foot slightly out, no sickling in the ankle, and lifting, moving your chest through your upper arms. Letting a knee point out, make sure that the knee is in line with your second and third toe. Lengthen, lengthen. Knee and ankle in same line. If you want more, you can. You lengthen the spine forward and then first the right elbow go down or go onto a block and then the left. Lengthen that spine forward again instead of rounding the spine. So no rabbit back. Take a flat spine. Now instead, if you have more than you in the pockets, then reach your right arm forward. Turn it up, around, and then back. So now my right shoulder is a little bit opened. Lift your left foot. Maybe you can hold the foot, the top of the foot. Now square the shoulders, but keep leaning forward. Don't hike your hips up. Don't open the shoulders, but lean forward. So again, the left hip flexor. Feel that your right arm is next to your right waist. Really lengthen. Both hips are working here. Slowly from here, releasing the foot, bringing the right hand back to the floor, lifting the left hand onto the floor, curling the back toe under. Then from here, left outer edge of the foot, turn it on the outside, no sickling, so really pressing the outer edge, and maybe you have to wiggle your right foot a little bit more to the midline of the mat. Lengthen. So from here, sinking the left hip down, but reaching the spine nice and tall. Right arm can reach towards your left foot. Inhale, lifting the hips up. Arm comes over like a rainbow shape. Exhale, sinking. Both feet are strong. Inhale, lifting, rainbow shape. Exhale, dip the hips down. Sink. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, sink. From here, inhale, up and over, turn back to the front of the mat. Plant your hands, right foot steps next to the left. Lean forward and go down Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, move back Chaturanga. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, downward facing. Readjust your feet, your hands. Release tension. Feel the sizzles. Left leg rising on an inhale. Bring it back and up, nice and straight if you can. Now point the foot and open the left hip on top of the right and keep your left shoulder down. Bend at your knee, the left one, and then start drawing circles. 1, 2, the bigger the better. 3. When you're up with the knee, then reverse the circle. Keep your left shoulder down. 1, 2, and 3. When you're up with the knee. Then from here, lengthen the left leg. Looking forward, bring the knee in towards the nose, and then step your left foot forward. Right knee comes towards the floor. Hover onto the fingertips, or press them down, and lengthen the spine. So keep the hips square. And then from here, tuck your back toes really firmly. And then find your pelvic floor muscles and your Uddiyana Bandha, and that will rise your arms up next to your ears. So the hips sink slightly forward, but you're not going into a back bend. So press the heel, left heel into the floor, move it towards the right knee and shovel the right knee towards the left heel. Then the midsection of your back, puff it up towards the back, towards the rear. And then feel when you move the right hip slightly forward that you're opening the right hip, the front of it. So lean as far forward, so you want to bring the thigh as close to the floor as you can, but without hollowing the spine too much. So it's really an action of the belly, bandhas, and also the action of the feet. So this is different. You can work in this with same poses in different ranges. Arms straight, flaring the ribs. Press the back of the body towards the rear of your mat. And slowly bring those hands down. Lengthen. Let's bring them on the inside. Here, lengthen the spine. Keep the left knee tracking forward. Don't let it sway out to the side. Keep it close to your left elbow. You can stay here and sink the hips forward by pulling still the left heel towards your right knee. If there's more room, then on the exhale, left elbow down, and then the right. Watch that you're not rounding the spine. Keep it nice and lengthful. Left knee goes in towards your left shoulder, so there's the inner thigh working to move the knee in towards the shoulder to touch, or almost touch. Feel also if you lean only on your right arm, lean on both left and right elbows. If there's a little bit more juice there, then left arm can go forward. You don't have to. Swirl it around. Left shoulder is now open. Bring the right foot towards the buttocks. And then see if you can hold the top of the foot. And then squaring the shoulders towards the front. Oh, this is a much tighter side. Must be stronger side then. So there we are. Breathing. Belly is in, releasing the face, and the mind be calm. Mind calm, breath is there, asana is there. Slowly release the right foot, bringing the left hand back towards the left foot, plant it, lifting halfway up. And then from there, lifting the right knee up. On an exhale, turn the right outer edge towards the back side of the mat. And also turn the left foot out to the long left side edge of the mat. Now once you're here, dump the weight of your hip towards the floor. Then from there, left hand reaches towards the back side of the mat. Keep your shoulders in the long line of the mat. And then inhale, hiking up like a rainbow. Left arm goes over the left ear. Exhale, moving back down. Feeling the outer left hip a lot. Inhale, be strong in the outer edges of the feet, no stickling of the ankle, watch it. And exhale. Inhale up. One more dipping down, exhale, flexing both feet. Inhale, coming up and over, turning back towards the front of the mat. Step your left foot back, inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upwards facing. Exhale, back to low chaturanga. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Ooh. On your exhale, prepare to go to the front of the mat, looking forwards, bend your knees, start your inhale, hop forward or step forward, halfway lift. Exhale, forehead towards the shins, release the neck. Inhale, root to rise, arms sideways, lengthen. Exhale, bend your knees, scrape the fingertips over the floor, rise your arms on the inhale. Exhale, hands towards the heart center. Now lifting the right leg off the floor, externally rotate it, and then bring the right ankle over your left knee. Tush, hips move back. Lengthen the spine slightly forward, hands back in prayer. You can stay here. Go for the external rotation, move the knee out and down. And then maybe you can sink, but keep the spine straight as possible. Maybe your forearms can lean on your shin bone or your calf muscle. Draw belly in, shoulders into the sockets. Inhale, lengthen. Arms up, knee as close to you can get it towards your chest. So really use your bandhas. Exhale, hands down, foot down. Inhale, rise your arms, lengthen. Exhale, bend your knees, scrape fingertips. The inhale will bring your arms up in Utkatasana. Now, inhale, lifting the left leg. Exhale, externally rotate and then bring the left ankle over the right knee. Hands come in prayer. Tush goes back, the buttocks. Lengthen the heart forward. The hips are lower than your chest. Then from there, flexing the foot very, very firmly. So there's no sickling in the ankle. It's as if you're still stamping on the floor with this left foot, but it's now to the side, so maybe it's a wall. And then going down. Good. Tush back, lifting your chest. Feeling the outer hip, moving the left knee out and down. Good. Inhale, sweeping the arms up, lifting the left knee as high as you can get it. Close the gap in between your chest. Oh yes, flex your foot. Long right leg. Exhale, hands go down. Step a little bit more towards the midline of your mat. A little bit back. Left leg, rooting down. So we're going to play here a little bit. So you feel your hips already. And to open the hips, there needs to be strength. There needs to be blood flow. So this is all pretty, when I say move the hips out and down, it's an action of the glute muscles. So you get all this blood flow in those hips to go at the end to our kick pose. So, once you're here, left leg stays. The right knee comes in towards the chest as high as you can get it. Externally rotate and then hook it like it's in figure 4. Then bend both knees, so the left one too, sink back. So this is the first one that we did. Once you're here, you can stay here. If there is more room, you can bring the fingertips maybe down. If the fingertips are down, then maybe walk the hands forward, lift up your left heel, and find your right knee high into your arm. The right arm. Hook your right foot around your left arm. Lean forward. Maybe you can hover. Belly, belly. Maybe you can extend this left leg. Maybe you can bring the left foot back again. And then undo it. Come back, so wherever you are. Now from here. If your fingers are on the floor, you can still stay here, sorry. And then you can lift your left heel and you're going to sit. Then find the hand position that you need to find a balance. Try to sit upright with your left heel in between the crack of the buttocks. Now, action in the legs, in the bandhas, and just see if you can sit here. If you have the ability to lift your hands, which I'm not going to do because I fall into the pool, you can do so. Bring the hands into prayer. Slowly bring the hands back. Bring the hands forward again. And watch your foot. What is your foot doing? Is your foot really flexed? Is it still on the floor? Or are you walking kind of on the outer edges of your feet? We never walk like this, right? It feels uncomfortable. Unless you have like a pin in your foot or whatever. Yeah, so the whole foot needs to be down. So if the whole foot is there, it's not like a sickling foot like here. It's really pressing. Okay, you see my hands moving? It's hard for me too. So, once we're here, we're going back up. Oh, and I'm planting the right foot down. It's so relaxing, I know. It's not one of my favorite classes, but it's so good. So left leg is rising nice and high. Exhale, externally rotate, bring it over the left foot. So no sole of the foot up towards the sky. Move towards the wall on the right side of you. Hands go in front of the heart, tush back, lean forward. This side is even more difficult because my foot is not strong enough. I have that feel always. So I need to practice more. So then the fingers can go down or you stay wherever you are. Just wait for us to return. Then, if your fingertips are there, walk the hands forward, hook the left foot around your right upper arm, lean forward, titter-totter, lifting the right leg off the floor like a crow. Then, be strong in your left foot. Extend your right leg. Bring it back. Let's go back. Flexing that foot again. Okay, now fingertips are down, or you're still in figure four, the number figure four. Lifting the right heel off the floor. Watch your foot. Don't let it sickle upward. Really bring the sole of the foot. And then sit on your heel, using the bandhas. Find the tallest spine that you can find. And maybe then here you can find the hands in prayer. Not always working. So you need to keep flexing, keep action in the body, but relaxed mind. And that's enough. So bring the hands forward, rounding spine, coming slowly back, maybe straightening, maybe going back with the elbows on the inside of the knees, lifting all the way up. Step your left foot down. Don't move. So all this time, no pain in the knee, right? Okay. Step to the top of the mat. We have a vinyasa to a seated position. Hands go down. Inhale, swoop. Exhale, forward fold. Lean into the ball of the foot, forehead towards shins. Inhale, full of air, lengthens the spine. Exhale, step, hopper, float, low chaturanga. Inhale the lungs fully. Exhale, move back, chaturanga. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Your way to come to a seated position can be floating, can be stepping, can be just sitting down. Whenever you're ready, look forward, bend your knees, your way of sitting down. Yes. So, lotus. Lotus is a difficult position, especially for Westerns, because our hip joints are a little bit different made. So therefore we have to be extra careful for our knee joint. I have a froggy in my throat. Now I think it's out. So what you do to come in a lotus, traditional, it's right first over the left leg, and then the left leg comes over the right. So many times you get problems in the left knee. Why? Because it just has to go over this one, so you're a little bit janking onto this knee. So that's not the plan. Or if you are like me and you have a strong right side and a nice tasty chocolate side on the left, then the left knee is not a problem, but the right knee is a problem. Because you need to take the external rotation out of the hip and not out of the knee, because that is a hinge, just like an elbow. So what you do is you bring your right knee in, you close the knee joint, but you don't yank it in, because now there's also tension. So you just bring it in nice and easy, there's a little space here, and then what you do, you sit nice and tall, and you externally rotate, and then you feel, hey, I'm leaning very sturdy on my outer edge of the right foot. That's exactly the same what we did with the rainbow. That's how sturdy you want to have it. Then from there, you can keep the knee joints closed, you can lift the heel up, so you can take your ankle. Because most of the time if you take your foot, it goes in a cycling movement. This is not, now I'm taking it out of the ankle can handle because it's a rotator cuff, but I'm also taking it out of the knee because my tibia and fibula, they're going to crunch in there somewhere. So I lift up so once again, I take it in nice and easy, then externally rotate. I'm lifting up the heel so my ball of the foot is pointing down, and I take my hand underneath my ankle. Then from there, I'm going to lift it up, but I still want to feel action in my right hip. Then from there, I'm going to move it a little bit towards my belly button, so higher up. And then from there, I bring the foot down and I move my sit bone to the front. And then you're in your lotus. So the first couple of lotuses you will have is that you forget to bring the sit bone forward. And then your lotus is going to be really wide. Yeah? So, one more time just to see. Bring the knee in. Close knee. Safe knee. External rotate. Lifting the heel up. Taking the ankle so it's not going to sickle. Then lifting. And then from there, whoop, lifting. And I let the knee go forward and down. So this action from here to there is an important one. Now, you saw my floppy foot. If you go into a lotus, this leg is relaxed. Then you start to flex it. Okay, so what can we do now? We can go with the right hand forward, exhale, rotate it, and hold maybe your foot. If that's impossible, then you just let it rest on your left side waist till you maybe one day you can turn it. Yes, you can lean forward. Oh, now my foot is so much closer. Yes. Inhale, lengthen, square the shoulders. Exhale, fold. No pain on the inside of the knee, ever. Yeah? If you feel that you have your maximum and your knee is not on the floor, no problem, then just take a block so it stops there. So you have a lean into it. That's safety for the knee joint because it wants to fall with gravity down and then you might hurt your knee, not the plan. Breathing, squaring the shoulders. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale here. Coming out of the pose, block away. So what you can do is you can lean a little back and then the foot slides out. Wiggle the knees. How does the knee feel? One feels good, that's probably the left. Right must feel good too. Okay, the other side. So same thing occurs here. Left heel in towards the buttocks. Release this right leg. Then make yourself nice and tall and go for external rotation. Then lifting the left heel up so you have the shin bone nice in line in the middle of the knee. Taking the left ankle. Then from there you move the heel towards your belly button. And then from there move the sit bone forward. And there you are in your lotus. Now the right leg comes. Good. Flexing it. Make it active again. So from here, if you want to continue, left arm goes forward. The exhale, turn the hand palm outward, bring it towards your waist, lean a little forward, maybe find your big toe. Yes, you can also hold, if it's almost there, you can hold with your right hand the big toe and stick your thumb back. And then you hold your thumb. Yeah, so then you don't need a strap. Inhale, lengthen, lean slightly forward. Exhale, going forwards. So then you cannot hold your foot, but that's fine. Squaring shoulders parallel to the floor. Again, remember, if you want to have support from a block underneath this left knee, go ahead. It's safer for the knee than dangling into the air. So you see that all those movements, if you're in hips, are a little bit longer holds. It's not yin, definitely not, because we don't have props. We still do it with the muscles and the floor. But it takes a while. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale here. Come out of the pose, so you can lean a little back, you can lift the knee up a little, and there it goes. Bring it forward, just wiggle the knees out. So how does the knee feel? Did you feel something in the hips happening? Were you aware of the hips? Good. So the next pose is going to be fun one. Crisscross the ankles. I don't like it at all. So I turn sideways on my mat, so I have cushioning from the mat underneath my knees. So what you do is you bring your knees as far out as you can, and also make sure that your ankles are on the mat. Oh, so Charlie Chaplin in the house. So the instep of the foot is down, and there you are. Now what you want to do is dump the weight and you have this hollow spine. Don't. Press the belly in, use the bandhas, shoulders into, and now make sure that your knees are in line with your hips. So you're not far forward, because then I can really easy go down, and then I have my knees and my toes down. So you want to stay in this line. So now press the knees as far out as you can, and then from here reaching, hands forward so you can press into the hands. And now move the buttocks towards the space in between your heels. I feel you. So, draw the belly in. Let's get back to the mind. Whatever you feel, let it be slightly uncomfortable, not totally uncomfortable. So ease into this posture. Slowly from here, going forward, inhale. And now exhale, move the buttocks again towards the space in between the heels. Shoulders and hips kind of one line. Inhale, go forward. Sometimes that feels nice, but then you feel the inside of the knee. So there are all kinds of sensations here. Exhale, moving back. Draw the belly in. Inhale. And exhale. Ballerinas are very good at this. They have very open hips. Now bring the hands closer towards your body, so walk them in. Now, from here, toes are touching. Move the toes towards one another. Then bring the buttocks onto your heels and walk your hands further towards your body. Come in an upright position. Different sensation. Still opening the knees and the hips. Not opening the knees, we're doing the knee stretches. But are your knees feeling okay? So you can lean. If they're not feeling okay, you go a little bit more forward and you lift your hips off your heels. There you are. Toes are still touching. They want to move away from each other. Keep them touching. Sink your hips up with a little strength. Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. Pull yourself down. Deeper. Ooh. Let the breath be there. Let the bandhas be active. Let the mind be calm. Basically surrendering. Not biting through class. Just let the body open in its own time. Okay. Let's move back forward slowly. Then, toes are still touching. Now you walk a little forward and you're going to try to get the hips down and also the feet down. As I said, ballerinas, they just go down and they have no fuss whatsoever. I will have fuss. So lift your hips off your heels, bend your elbows, maybe only bring the elbows down. Now draw the belly in, so you're one piece straight back, no hollow spine, no rounding in the spine. Toes are touching and pressing into each other. Then from there, I need to lean a little forward and I'm going to open my elbows to get my chest down, if I can, but I feel immediately that my toes want to lift. Keep the toes onto the floor. So now you can lean forward in front of your knees. Then from there, I'm just going to let my toes tip off the floor. There's my belly, there's my chest onto the floor. Now I'm going to work with the toes, working backward. So I'm trying to touch the toes back onto the floor. That will tremendously open the outer hips. Make your head as comfortable as it can be, laying on a block, laying on your hands. But work here. So the knees are pressing into the floor and you work your toes towards the floor. Yes, and at the same time you want to also get your pubic bone onto the floor. Really, so no hollow spine. Oh, it's fantastic. The fire lock pose is coming, darling. Okay, I think this is long enough. Take the hands underneath. Oh, she's doing good. So, Ingrid, you can move your hips a little bit more forward if you have the space. Yes, and then go down. A little bit more forward. But if you go too much forward, then it's easy again. So let's go out of this pose. Oh, push up. Toes still touching. Oh, yes, let's go back, sitting on the heels. Be so happy. Happy hips. So there we are. Let's go forward. Oh, let's curl the toes. Now easy. Bring your knees back. Move back. Oh, crisscross your ankles. Or bring them to one side and sit. Soles of the feet on the outer edges of the mat. You can lean, take it passive. Lean with your hands back, fingertips moving back towards the back side of the mat. And then just windshield wipers. Oh yeah. If you want to have it a little bit more active, because it's also power yoga, you can lift up, turn, and then lift up. You don't have to. If you prefer the passive one, go for passive one. You worked enough. Yeah? One more time, each side, right side. And slowly, we're moving and scooting to the front of the mat. And there we are. Let's get back. Okay. So, we can do a lot of skandasana and stuff. But let me see. Oh, we need to go to the peak pose. So, you're lucky. 1 hour class, right? So with lotus, the heel is very closely in. So what we do now is you're going to bend your left knee. And you're flexing your foot. So you don't want to sickle it. So now the sole of the foot is kind of upwards. You want to really press the outer edge in and maybe even in your head want to lift this heel. Then it's totally in action. But you move it over towards this side. So there's going to be a 90-degree angle, same line. Then you're going to bring this one, flex your foot, bring it in, externally rotate, and then you bring it over. If you lean back, it's a little easier to get it. And then, whatever you do, you see where I'm at. I have huge space here, and I feel my hips, and we did a lot of hip opening. Watch your ankle. So no sickling of the ankle. This bottom foot needs to be active. This top foot needs to be active. So if you can sit upright with your fingertips here, great, stay here. And just work on tipping the sit bones back and rolling your chest forward and up. So maybe you want to do this action a couple of times. So I'm lengthening and I'm rounding. I'm lengthening, feel my hips. I'm rounding, I'm out of my hips. I'm lengthening, I'm rounding. Lengthening and rounding. Lengthening, let's see if we can stay here with the action of the foot. Watch your foot, Miriam. So really press it. If there's a wall and you press in it, maybe the heel wants to come up. Okay. Now I'm in here already a little bit. If this is really uncomfortable and not possible, then I give you a little tip. You can bring the heel into your crease of the knee. Oh, it's a little tweak. But watch the ankle, no sickling. So you need to press the heel into the, yes. And still have this one ready too. So this is the fire lock pose, looking more like that we see on Instagram, right? but you still have the feel in the outer hips. So if you can lean now forward. You can bring the fingertips forward, maybe the fingertips on blocks. Then from there, maybe walk forward. If this all is not possible, then just take this right foot in front. Oh, fire lock pose. So this is all the same pose. So we started with the most difficult one, then I give you a tweak, and now this is the other one that you can do. So let me bring myself back, external rotation, to the first option. And as you see, I never came this far. There we are. So this is my strong side, but also my stiff side. You can lean forward, hold it, 3 more breaths. The pose you hold, the breath you flow. Two more. Push back. 1 more. Inhale, coming back, leaning back. Taking your legs out. Passive. Here the swirls come from sensation. Easy. You did a good job. In a way, I know how you look right now. Yes, you will be very supple. Okay, so let's go to the other side. So promising. So just be curious. So now it's the other side. Flex your foot, externally rotate, bring the shin bone parallel to the front of the mat, and the sole of the foot as if there is a wall and you press on it. So the action you want to have is basically that you want to lift this heel and flex the foot. Then you're going to lift up left knee towards your chest, flexing the foot, kind of closing your knee joint again. Taking external rotation, left sit bones off the floor, and then, oh, so good this side. So supple. Oh, okay, keep flexing. Not the heel close to the buttocks. The heel is very far away from the buttocks. Because if I have the heel to the buttocks, my shin bone is not parallel to the front of the mat. So you want to have the shin bone parallel to the front of the mat. That makes it so hard. Yes, breathe. Ujjayi breathing takes your mind away from sensations. Don't overdo it. Both sit bones down. You have a nice triangle right in here. Lengthen the spine. So again, the tweak here. The tweak can be that you press the heel into the crease of your knee and then letting the knee go. Flexing both feet. Take the toes towards your knees. Lengthen. Maybe you want to lean back a little first. Maybe that's opening you. Then it's doable. So let it be doable, not a struggle. Then maybe you can go on to the fingertips so your shoulders are in line with the hips. Keep flexing. Maybe you don't need the hands. If this doesn't work, the tweak, bring it in front, so shin bones both parallel to the front of the mat. Take your fingers behind, lift your rib cage away from your pelvis. Maybe you still want to go back. So the fire lock pose, he is called like this because it fires up your hips. There's enormous, tremendous heat coming from the big joints. Maybe your fingertips want to go towards the front. And let's go for 3 more. Two more. Last one. Release what you have to release. Face, neck, eyes, soft gaze. My leg is shaking. And one. Let's go back. Woo. Planting your feet. Windshield wiper. So if you have a lot of sensations, you did something good, but it cannot be painful. Sharp is never good. It's some kind of a dull sensation, but hard enough. But not so hard that you cannot breathe. Good. Let's move back. Let's shake those knees a little. I think we're open enough now to have your full lotus. Bring the right knee in. Close the knee joint, but don't over close. External rotation, lifting the heel up, taking, and bring the heel towards your belly button. Then sit bone comes forward. Now the other leg. So what you can do is lean back. And then from there, you go for external rotation. So I lift my left sit bone and then I sit down. So it's almost there. But I have to lift it up and over. So that's where the most trouble comes. So what you do is, what I do is I lean back a little. And I move this right knee forward. So it comes a little lower. And then gentle at the ankle, I lift it upward and over. If you get it here, great. If you don't get it, shovel it underneath. That's fine too. Now, again, there is action in the feet. So your toes gripping around your outer thighs and your inseams of the legs inward. So the movement is towards here. Then just to give it a little bit more power, if you have half lotus, bring, then you keep the back, the foot that's not hooked as close to the buttocks as you can. Hands, so I lift it, hands in front of the buttocks. Now lean round the spine, lift up. Move your hips towards your rib cage and stay here. Breathing. 1, 2, 3. Look forward. Don't eat your lip. 4 and 5. Look forward. Lower. All right. However you are, half lotus, full lotus. Lean forward. Go on to your knees. Now my father used to walk like this. And then maybe hang out here. Feel what the hips tell you. Maybe hang out here. Elbows bent, chaturanga. Maybe you can move the chest down. Place the hands in front of you. Lean. So move the hips forward. So now, some of you did not have trouble with the fire log pose, but they have troubles here. Take it easy. Body's time, not your agenda. If you're here for a little bit, it feels kind of comfortable, this one for me. Then, take the hands back underneath the shoulders, a little bit lower. Push back up, belly is engaged. Now roll back onto the knees, keep the hands there. Now tush moves back, lengthen ribcage forward. Oh. And then lower the buttocks towards the floor. Forehead or chin towards the floor. And now you're flat as a pancake. So tush back. And however maybe you have the American pancake. It's a little poofy, it's a little up. Just think sit bones back towards the end of your mat. Draw the belly in, lift the rib cage away from the hips. More than enough. Slide the hands in, walk the hands in however you like. And then undo your lotus. You can slide it out, you can lift it out, do it with ease. Okay, sometimes you feel the ankle. Means that your hip is not open enough. And I pointed my right foot because my right hip is stiff. Strong hip. Leaning forward, winding down, rolling down. Vertebrae by vertebrae. Bring the knees in. Oh, hug the arms around the knees. Even this is now giving a sensation. But because you reclined, it's easier. Take the hands on the knees and then draw circles. Doesn't matter inward or outward first. We go both directions. Just stirring the pots. 2 spoons, 2 pots. The pot is the hip joint. And your femur bone is the spoon. Stirring in the pots. Let's go reverse the direction. Other side. So hips are nice and juicy at this moment. And then shimmy the knees. Crisscross the ankles, rolling up and down. Long spine. Inhale back, exhale up. Inhale back, exhale up. And then from here, sit up, turn around, and roll. Other ankle on top. Inhale, bow back. Exhale up. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And the last one. Roll down. Okay. If you have lower back problems, then just take the restorative. Feet on the outer edges. Let the knees drop in. If not, then extend your legs. Minimum mat width distance. Plant the heels into the floor. Move your shoulders underneath you and just start shaking. So the heels are gripping and you're moving in a way up and down. So you feel everything kind of like the water content of the body goes to the deepest point now, towards your backside of the body. And just shake up and down. And then come to silence. Feel the sensations of the skin. Feel the swirls in the body. Everything in silence. Mind at ease, heart at peace. Breath flowing in, flowing out. Trusting the mat. So lay your weight onto the mat. Soften. Surrender. Enjoy. I will be silent, but I will wake you up. Resting pose. Let hearing come back, entering the ears, into the brain. Conscious breath. Take a deep inhale through the nose, filling up the lungs, the belly area. And then exhaling, chest lowers, belly lowers. One more time, deep inhale. Fill up the lungs, opening up the mouth, and sigh it out. Closing the mouth. Keep the breath nice, even. And then without. Any fuss. Bring the awareness to your fingers and your toes. Small movement. Rippling in towards the wrist, the ankles. Inward towards the knees and the elbows. Moving. Now the shoulders. Maybe moving the knees in towards the chest. Hug yourself. Maybe from there it feels natural to you to extend the arms overhead and extend the legs. And maybe you want to sway the knees back into the chest and roll from one side to the other. Whatever you have to make for moves to come back to the here and now, make it. Let it be organic, intuitive, and making sense for your body. When all the movements are made, roll to your right side. Fetal position, pillow of your right arm. Sideways, plant the hands, coming sideways and up, and extend your left top leg. Coming to a seated position of your choosing, and let's finish this. Hands in front of your heart. Thank yourself for doing the practice and working in honor of the body. So no pushing. Not even a little. And then from here, if you want, you can prepare for Om. Exhale all the old air out. Then inhale. Comes to the third eye.